Better win this match. God damn it, this is... Wow. What the hell? Why was he lagging? Bro.
The Samsung Galaxy S23 is coming with plenty of new upgrades, as well as an epic new feature that we've all been waiting to see, and you won't be disappointed. So first story of the day, we've got more confirmations that all versions of the Galaxy S23 are going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Now previously, Samsung used their own in-house chipsets in most of the regions, which many users were disappointed with, but according to Ice Universe on Weibo, as well as many other reliable sources, the Exynos chipset is no longer going to be used for the Galaxy S series. Ice Universe's Weibo post also reveals that the Galaxy S23 Ultra is going to be powered by a 5000 mAh battery, which is in fact the exact same as its predecessor, but of course, thanks to a new, more efficient chipset, it will still get a better battery life. Now the Galaxy S23 Ultra is also going to be the first phone to feature the new UFS 4 flash storage, which is pretty much twice as fast as the previous UFS 3.1. The new storage was actually officially announced by Samsung themselves, and it seems very likely that it will make its debut in the S23 Ultra. We also have more news that the Galaxy S23 Ultra is going to be equipped with an impressive 200 megapixel ISOCELL HP2 sensor, and this is of course going to be used for the main camera. It's reportedly coming with the new hexa-squared pixel binning technology, and this means we're still going to get great low light performance on top of a very detailed high resolution photos and videos. For the standard Galaxy S22 as well as the S22 Plus, we're also getting an upgrade to the selfie cameras. Now they've both been using 10 megapixel selfie cameras for some time now, but finally they're going to get the upgrade to 12 megapixel cameras for improved photo and video. Next up, we've got news of an impressive new feature that we heard about a long time ago, and it was pretty much forgotten about as it never appeared in many smartphones. With the Galaxy S23 Ultra, that changes however, and a new report advises that the Galaxy S23 Ultra is going to ship with Qualcomm's 3D Sonic Max ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Personally, I much prefer fingerprint unlock over a face unlock, but the only downside is of course the small area where you have to place your finger or thumb where the actual sensor is underneath the display. With Qualcomm's 3D Sonic Max sensor, it not only provides a much bigger surface area for us to place our fingers for the unlock, but it also improves both the speed and megapixel camera. This leads me to think that design wise we're not going to see much changing. When it came to both the fold and the flip, Samsung realized that they should focus more on refining the product with better hardware rather than completely redesigning them, and it did seem to pay off. While there's been no news on the S23 Ultra design, I personally think they're going to do exactly the same again. We'll probably get a better display with even thinner bezels than ever, but the main design elements are probably going to remain very similar. Now this means that there's going to be plenty of cost savings in research, development and manufacturing of the new S23 Ultra, and that allows Samsung to deliver better specs without the price rising dramatically. Now of course, this is just my assumptions based on their activity this year, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Now for those of you excited for the Galaxy S23 series though, we're now going to run through the specs, design and pricing for each model in the range. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you are new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. To start with, we've got the Galaxy S23. We get a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display with an LTPO 120Hz refresh rate. It's likely to come with a resolution of 1080 by 2340, and it will of course have HDR10+. We get a 12 megapixel punch hole selfie camera on the front, and it's likely to have an aperture of around f2.2. On the rear, we're expecting a triple camera setup, and it's likely to consist of a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. The reports are stating that new models will come with the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 system on chip, but if Samsung do continue with their in-house flagship chipset, then some regions are going to get the Exynos 2300. It should come with 8GB of RAM and the usual choice of 128 or 256 storage, and going by the previous releases, we can be pretty sure that there's no microSD support. We've got a 3700 mAh battery, and Samsung have been very conservative with their fast charging, but we know it's at least going to have 25-watt fast charging, and it will of course support wireless charging as well as reverse wireless charging. We get 5G, Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6, It's also IP68 water resistant. It comes with One UI 5 based on Android 13, and it's expected to start from around $899. Next up, we've got the Galaxy S23 Plus, and this is very similar to the standard model, apart from a couple of upgrades such as the display as well as the battery. With the Galaxy S23 Plus, we get a 6.6-inch dynamic AMOLED display with LTPO and a 120Hz refresh rate. It's likely to come with a resolution of 1080 by 2340 and of course HDR10+. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole selfie camera on the front with a likely aperture of f2.2. On the rear, we're expecting a triple camera setup, likely consisting of a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and then a 10-megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. Reports are stating that all the models are going to come with the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but if Samsung do continue with their in-house flagship chipset, then some regions are going to get the Exynos 2300. It should come with 8GB of RAM and the usual choice of 128 or 256 storage, and going by previous releases, we're very unlikely to see microSD card support. We've got a 4500 mAh battery, and again, fast charging is very hard to predict, but it's at least going to be 25 watts, and it can support wireless charging as well as reverse wireless charging. We get 5G, Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6, and it's also IP68 water resistant, and it comes with One UI 5 based on Android 13. Now, it is of course running One UI 5 based on Android 13, and it's expected that the Galaxy S23 Ultra is going to start from $1,300. So realistically, the Galaxy S23 is expected to bring with it refinements and improvements instead of completely redesigning an already popular series. These probably won't be too much of a reason for people to upgrade from the previous S22, but for people with older models, then it's definitely going to be an attractive upgrade. Now, of course, leaks are a little bit like the ground at the moment. The closer we get to launch, the more information we'll have. As always though, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. So who out there is excited for the Samsung Galaxy S23 and what model are you waiting for? So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it,